My girlfriend told me it is just 3 weeks apart. We will be stronger after this when she got her dream job in Seattle. I supported her move completely, helped her pack, drove the U-Haul, even paid for her flight back to visit. The company she claimed hired her had never heard of her. I am still processing this. My hands shake every time I think about it. I am Sawyer, 31M, project manager in Denver, been with Presley 28F. For 2.5 years. She works in marketing, always talking about wanting to level up her career. I am supportive of that. We are both ambitious people. I make decent money. About $85K, and I wanted her to chase her dreams. Presley's been frustrated with her current job for months. I am too good for this place, she would say. I need to be somewhere that appreciates talent. She would apply to jobs in bigger markets, Seattle, San Francisco, Austin. I encouraged it. Even suggested we could do long distance if she found something amazing. 3 weeks ago, she comes home practically bouncing off the walls. Sawyer, I got it. Cloud Tech Solutions in Seattle offered me senior marketing manager. I was so proud of her. This was everything she had been working toward. $95K plus equity. Managing a team. Finally getting the recognition she deserved. This is incredible, babe. When do you start? 3 weeks. I know it is fast, but they need someone immediately. My first thought wasn't suspicion. It was logistics. How do we make this work? How do I support her transition? I will help you move. We will figure out the long-distance thing. This is your moment. The next 3 weeks were a blur. Presley was stressed about transitioning her current job, finding an apartment, planning the move. I took time off work to help pack, rented a U-Haul, drove 12 hours to Seattle with all her stuff. She found this beautiful one-bedroom in Capitol Hill for $2,200 a month. When I asked about the deposit and first month's rent, she said the company was helping with relocation expenses. They really want me there. It is all handled. I should have asked more questions, but I was so focused on being supportive that I didn't want to seem like I was doubting her success. The apartment was nicer than anything we could afford in Denver, fully furnished. Modern, view of the city. I helped her unpack. We had one last dinner together, and I flew back Sunday night. I missed her immediately, but I was also excited for her, finally getting what she deserved. Week 1, we talked every day. She was learning the systems, meeting the team, adjusting to the new role. I asked about her manager, her coworkers, the office culture. Her answers were always vague. It is a startup, you know. Very fluid environment. I am still figuring out the dynamics. Week 2. I started noticing things that didn't add up. She was always available when I called during work hours, never seemed to be in meetings. When I asked for her work email so I could send flowers to her office, she said they were still setting up her accounts. Week 3. She posted Instagram stories from expensive restaurants and shopping areas, designer coffee shops, high-end boutiques. I wondered how she could afford that lifestyle on a new job, even with a $30K raise. When I asked about it, she said, "The team takes me out a lot. They are really welcoming, but something felt off. I couldn't shake this growing unease." Yesterday, I finally did what I should have done weeks ago. I called Cloud Tech Solutions directly. "Hi, could I speak with Presley Hammond in marketing? I am sorry. We don't have anyone by that name. Are you sure?" She just started 3 weeks ago as senior marketing manager. "Sir, we haven't hired anyone in marketing recently, and we only have 4 employees total." I hung up and immediately called back, thinking there was a mistake. "We don't have an internal marketing team." I sat in my car in the parking lot at work and felt my entire reality collapse. The woman I loved, who I had driven across 3 states and spent $4,500 helping relocate for her dream job, had lied about everything. But it gets worse. So much worse. When I started digging into what was really going on, I discovered a betrayal so calculated and cruel that I am still struggling to believe someone I loved was capable of it. Update 1: I haven't slept since I posted. Keep staring at the ceiling, replaying every conversation, every moment I should have questioned things. My friend Ridge thinks I need to see a therapist. He is probably right. After I confirmed Cloud Tech Solutions was basically a fake company, I spent the night in a panic spiral, called in sick Thursday because I couldn't stop shaking. Presley texted me that morning asking how my day was going, and I almost threw my phone across the room. How do you respond to casual texts from someone whose entire life is apparently a lie? I didn't respond. Started making a list of everything that didn't make sense. The fully furnished apartment she found in 3 days, the expensive restaurants she couldn't afford, the vague answers about her job, the work email that never materialized. My coworker Quinn has connections in Seattle tech. I asked her to look into Cloud Tech Solutions without explaining why. It is weird, she said. Though actual presence. Like someone created a shell company. Someone had deliberately created a fake company. But why? Thursday night, I remembered something Presley had mentioned early in our relationship. Her ex-boyfriend Brecken, who worked in tech in Seattle. She would bring him up occasionally, college friend who is doing really well. We catch up sometimes. I had never been jealous, but now I couldn't get his name out of my head. I found his LinkedIn, Brecken Ashford, Senior VP, at a major tech company. Definitely successful. His profile showed he had recently gone through a divorce, finalized about 4 months ago. Then I made the mistake of looking at his Instagram. Pictures from the same restaurants Presley had been posting from. The same view from what looked like the same apartment. A photo from last weekend at Pike Place Market, and Presley had posted from Pike Place Market the same day. I actually threw up, ran to the bathroom and emptied everything in my stomach while my brain tried to process what I was seeing. Friday morning, I reverse searched the address of Presley's apartment. Property records showed it was leased to Brecken Ashford. Lease signed 2 months ago, a full month before Presley got her job offer. She hadn't moved to Seattle for a job. She had moved to Seattle to live with her ex-boyfriend. The fake company. The elaborate story. My $4,500 in moving expenses. All of it was just cover for her to leave me for someone richer. I called Ridge and told him everything. He was quiet for a long time. Man, you know you are still on a shared phone plan with her, right? You could check call logs, I had forgotten. We had stayed on my family plan because it was cheaper. The call history made me physically ill. Daily calls to Brecken's number, going back 3 months. Not just quick check-ins, hour-long conversations, starting while we were still living together, still planning our future. Some calls lasted until 2 a.m. While I was sleeping next to her. Ridge came over Friday night and found me sitting on my kitchen floor, staring at the phone records. I drove her to Seattle, I told him. I helped her move in with another man. I paid for it. Sawyer, you didn't know. I loaded her boxes into his apartment. I probably carried pictures of them together. I made the bed they are sleeping in. The worst part isn't even the cheating. It is realizing that my love, my support, my desire to help her succeed, she weaponized all of it. Used my best qualities against me. Every conversation where I encouraged her to chase her dreams, she was probably planning how to leave me. Every time I said I am so proud of you, she was already gone. I keep thinking about that night in Seattle. How excited I was for her new life. How I told her I loved her and would visit soon. How she kissed me goodbye, knowing I had helped her move in with someone else. What kind of person does that? What kind of person lets someone they supposedly love fund their betrayal? Saturday morning, I finally called Presley. Hey babe, how was your week? Her voice was so casual, so normal, like she wasn't living a complete lie. How was the new job? Really good. Still learning everything, but the team is great. Still, I needed to hear her say it. Can you give me your work email? They are still setting up my accounts. It is really backed up. What is your manager's name again? Longer pause. Sarah Johnson. She is in meetings all day, super busy. I was crying by then. She was still lying to my face. Presley, I called Cloud Tech Solutions. They don't have a marketing department. They have never heard of you. Silence. Then, that is impossible. There must be some confusion. There is no confusion. You don't work there. You never worked there. More silence. I know about Brecken. I know you are living in his apartment. I know you have been talking to him for months. That is when she finally broke. But not how I expected. Update 2. I thought I was prepared for her confession. I thought the worst part was already over. I was wrong. When I confronted Presley about Brecken and the fake job, she didn't crumble or apologize. She got angry. How dare you investigate me? Go through my call records. That is a violation of privacy. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You made me an accomplice in moving you in with another man. You stole $4,500 from me through fraud, and you are mad about privacy? I didn't steal anything. You offered to help. I offered to help with your career move, not your affair. That is when she said something that has been echoing in my head for days. Sawyer, you are a good guy, but you are not ambitious enough for me. Brecken offers me a life you never could. The casualness of it. The casualness of Lengd. I was trying to figure things out, but then she said something that made everything even worse. Besides, Brecken doesn't know about you. I told him we broke up in January. I felt like I had been punched. What? He is not comfortable with dating someone fresh out of a relationship, so I told him we had been over for months. Not only had she cheated on me, she had erased me. In Brecken's mind, I didn't exist. Inevitably, you used me to fund your move to another man who thinks I am ancient. Learning your entire relationship was a lie is being dramatic. The call ended with her hanging up on me. I sat there holding my phone, feeling like I had been talking to a stranger. The woman I loved, caring, ambitious, vulnerable, had she ever existed? Or was it all just performance? Sunday. I did something I probably shouldn't have. I messaged Brecken on LinkedIn. Hi. I think we need to talk about Presley Hammond. He responded within an hour. Who is this? How do you know Presley? I am her boyfriend. Or was. We dated for 2.5 years until 3 weeks ago when she moved to Seattle. Long pause. Then, that is impossible. Presley and I have been together since February. She has been single for over a year. I sent him screenshots. Photos of Presley and me from our anniversary in March, text conversations from the week before she moved. The receipt from the U-Haul rental, his response. I am calling her right now. An hour later, he messaged back. Can we talk on the phone? The conversation was surreal. Two men who had been manipulated by the same woman, trying to piece together her timeline of lies. Brecken had met her at a college reunion in January. She told him she had been single for over a year, was ready to date seriously. They had been long distance until March, when he suggested she move to Seattle. She said she was looking for marketing jobs here anyway. I offered to help financially until she found something. He had been funding her job search, paying for her apartment, supporting her career transition, not knowing she was still with me. The company she claimed hired her. We looked it up together when she got the offer. It seemed legitimate. She created a fake company to justify moving in with you, and to justify leaving you without having to actually break up. We were both quiet for a while. Then Brecken said something that gutted me. I really thought I had found someone special, someone honest and ambitious and real. Yeah, I said, me too. The worst part was realizing we both cared about her. Neither of us was trying to win her back. We were just two men grieving the same person who apparently never existed. Monday, Brecken confronted Presley. According to his text update, she tried to lie her way out of it first, claimed I was a crazy ex who was stalking her. Said the photos were old, that I was making everything up. He showed her the evidence, the timeline, the call records, the U-Haul receipt with both our names. She finally admitted to everything. But even then, she tried to manipulate the situation. I love you both in different ways. This is just messy timing. Brecken, this isn't messy timing. This is fraud and emotional abuse. He gave her 48 hours to find somewhere else to live. Tuesday night, Presley called me, crying, Sawyer. I made a terrible mistake. Can we please talk? For a moment, just a moment, I felt sorry for her. This was the vulnerable Presley I remembered, the one I had fallen in love with. But then I thought about Brecken's apartment, how she had watched me carry boxes into a place she was sharing with another man. How she had kissed me goodbye, knowing I had funded my own betrayal. There is nothing to talk about, Presley. I never meant for it to happen this way. You created a fake company. You lied for months. You stole money. You erased my existence to another man. Every part of this was intentional. She was quiet. Then, what am I supposed to do now? That is not my problem anymore. I hung up and blocked her number. The crazy thing is, I still love her. Or I love who I thought she was. I keep catching myself worrying about where she is staying. If she is okay. Then I remember that she was sleeping with another man in my bed while planning her escape route. It has been a week since Brecken kicked her out. I have no idea where she is or what she is doing. Part of me wants to know. Part of me hopes I never find out. What I do know is that I helped fund and facilitate my own betrayal. I was so eager to be supportive that I never questioned anything. My love made me complicit in my own destruction. I don't know how to trust my judgment anymore. I don't know how to tell the difference between supporting someone's dreams and enabling their deception. I guess I am about to find out. Final update: it has been 3 months since my life imploded, but it is messier than the neat resolution everyone probably wants. Presley's back in Denver, living with her parents, working at Target. I know this because she tried to use me as a reference for a marketing job. Her potential employer called my office directly. The conversation was awkward as hell. Mr. Mitchell, Presley Hammond listed you as a professional reference. Can you speak to her work ethic and character? I told them I couldn't provide a reference and suggested they contact her previous employers instead. The HR person sounded confused but didn't push. She didn't get the job. Word travels fast in Denver's marketing community, and her story got around. Not because I told anyone, I haven't talked about it much. But mutual friends connected the dots, and people talk. Ridge says I should feel vindicated. I mostly feel tired. Brecken and I have stayed in loose touch. He is doing better than I am. Dodged a bullet, he says. Better to find out now than after marriage or kids. He is right. But that doesn't make it hurt less. Dr. Martinez helps me work through the trust issues. How to be supportive in relationships without being naive. How to ask questions without being controlling. You are loving and generous, she tells me. Those aren't character flaws, but they feel like vulnerabilities now. I second-guess everything. When my coworker asks me to cover a shift, I wonder what her real motivation is. When the barista at my coffee shop smiles, I analyze whether she is being genuinely friendly or wants a bigger tip. I know it is trauma response. Knowing doesn't make it easier. My work has been my salvation. Got promoted to senior project manager last month. My boss said, "My attention to detail and verification processes have been exceptional lately. If only he knew why." I have been on a few dates. Nothing serious. There is this woman, Rachel, who I met through a hiking group. She is patient with my questions, doesn't get offended when I verify things she tells me. Maybe that is a good sign. Last month, Presley texted me from a new number. "I know you hate me." I stared at that message for hours. Part of me wanted to respond, to ask her to explain how you love someone while systematically betraying them, to understand how she could watch me pack her boxes while knowing I was funding her new life with someone else. Instead, I showed it to Dr. Martinez. "What do you think she wants?" she asked. "Forgiveness, maybe. Or just to not be the villain in her own story. What do you want?" That is the question I cannot answer. I want the person I thought she was. I want to trust someone completely again without feeling stupid for it. But those things don't exist anymore. I didn't respond to her text. Blocked the new number too. Blocked the barest. Kept the conversation brief. She knows she messed up, her mom said. She is getting help. I hope that is true. Not for any romantic reason. That ship has sailed and sunk. But because I spent 2.5 years loving someone, and you don't just stop caring about their well-being, even after they destroy you. The hardest part isn't the anger or the hurt, it is the grief. Mourning someone who is still alive, but never really existed. Missing a relationship that was apparently one-sided. I am stronger than I thought, but also more fragile. I can survive betrayal, but it changes you. I can love deeply, but I need to love smarter. Rachel asked me last week if I was ready for something serious. I told her I didn't know, that I was still figuring out how to trust again. Take your time, she said. I am not going anywhere. It is possible she meant that. It is also possible she is lying and planning to fake a job offer in Portland next month. The fact that I cannot tell the difference anymore is Presley's lasting gift to me. Dr. Martinez says healing isn't linear. Some days I feel like I am moving forward. Others, I am right back in that Seattle apartment, realizing I had helped the woman I loved move in with someone else. But I am trying. Learning to support people without sacrificing my own judgment. Learning to be generous without being naive. Learning to love without losing myself. It is slow work, but it is work worth doing. Maybe someday I will be able to help someone chase their dreams without wondering if I am funding my own betrayal. Maybe someday I will trust that when someone says they love me, they are not actively planning their exit strategy. Today isn't that day, but maybe tomorrow will be. Edit. To those asking if I ever got my money back. No. $4,500 is apparently the cost of learning who someone really is. Expensive lesson, but could have been worse if I had found out after marriage or kids. Edit 2. For everyone suggesting I should have fought for her or tried to work it out. You cannot fix someone who sees you as a stepping stone to something better. The problem wasn't our relationship. The problem was her character.